Hey Disney World, I got a list of things we'd love for you to change in the parks. I know you just announced a bunch of stuff you're going to change, but this stuff would make our lives easier and our future trips a lot better. But even in the midst of our hopes and wishes, we're going to help all of you out there make sure your upcoming Disney World trips are a blast and smooth sailing regardless. Hey everybody, it's AJ with Disney Food Blog. Now, Billy Joel, icon and wizard that he is, once said, "Don't go changing to try to please me." And while the sentiment is endearing, it's definitely not how I feel about Disney World right now. There are some key components around the parks and resorts that I'd love to see change at some point in the future, just because I love Disney World and I want to love visiting it more. But even if some or none of our wish list ever comes true, I've still got lots of tips and tricks to share with you today to help you out when you're trying to make your next Disney getaway the best one yet. You know, that's why we're here. So first change I want to see, refillable mugs for the parks. So refillable mugs already exist in some capacity in the Disney bubble. In their current state, they're 16-ounce insulated plastic mugs sold at the Disney hotels inside each resort's primary counter service location. When you purchase one of these mugs for around $22, you're entitled to unlimited free refills on fountain drinks and coffee and tea from participating beverage locations at any Disney hotel quick service for the length of your entire stay, up to 14 days. But the big problem? You can't get free refills inside the parks with these. The free refills are for the Disney hotels and the Disney hotels only. Sure, you can fill your mug up with coffee in the morning and still take the rapid refill mug with you to the parks, but as far as refilling it inside Magic Kingdom or Epcot or anywhere else that's not a Disney hotel quick service, the only thing you're going to be able to refill these mugs with for free is water at all their water refill stations. So rapid refill mugs can be handy, especially if you're going to be hanging around your resort a lot during your visit or if you plan on doing any resort hopping, but come on, Universal Orlando has their own refillable Coke Freestyle cups that you can purchase for around the same price as Disney's, which will get you free unlimited sodas and icy refills where applicable all day long inside the parks, including a station right in the middle of City Walk, so you can get another refill to start your day or end your day. And if you want to reactivate your Universal Freestyle cup again for future visits, you pay about $12 to regain your unlimited refill perk. While yes, Disney's refillable mugs will give you unlimited refills for longer without you having to pay to reactivate, you're a lot more limited on where you can use those mugs. Plus, when you come back for future Disney World trips, the RFID reader inside your mug will make it to where your unlimited hotel soda refills are null and void, so you're just going to have to purchase a brand new mug all over again or bug a cast member to sell you a new sticker or something. Now, with that being said, there are a couple of ways you can get unlimited soda refills at select parks, but not with a resort rapid refill mug purchase. At Disney's water parks, Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon, they've got their own refillable mugs for sale that you can use for unlimited refills during your water park day. And over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, a brand new stainless steel reusable Stanley tumbler style refillable mug was introduced over at the Yak and Yeti Local Foods Cafe. These mugs are $31 for the initial purchase, but they're refillable all day for free. And then whenever you return to the park for future visits, you'll just bring back your mug's receipt or take a picture of the receipt to show a Yak and Yeti Local Foods cast member, and you'll be able to pay $2.12 for all day refills. But just at Yak and Yeti, it won't be applicable for anywhere else inside the park. But still, that's totally a refillable park mug I can get behind, and it'd be so cool to see something similar popping up around the other Disney World parks too. And I admit it, okay? I took Disney's package delivery for granted when it was still around. I mean, it just naturally and without extra thought made my Disney World trips so much easier back in the day. I'd find a bulky Disney souvenir I wanted to purchase, I'd buy it right then and there, and then Disney would send said purchase back to my Disney resort so I didn't have to worry about lugging it around with me all day long. Or they'd send it to the front of the park so I could pick it up on my way out. But then the extended 2020 closures happened, and while many things have returned to the Disney bubble since then, package delivery has not, and we're still feeling the ache. Nowadays, we have to think about our Disney World purchases a little differently. So let's say you want to buy something from one of the Crystal Arts shops in either Epcot or Magic Kingdom, like a Swarovski covered Marie from the Aristocats, or a sophisticated engraved glass mug, or something else along those lines. Yep, the cast members are going to make sure they pack up your souvenir souvenir nice and safe for you so you don't have to stress over any accidental breakage. But if you don't want to lug an expensive, heavy, and fragile souvenir inside your backpack all day long, you might be better off waiting until the end of the day to make these larger purchases. Or if you just can't wait any longer and you've got to have that sparkly cartoon cat right now, each park has lockers for rent near the front gates of the parks. Lockers cost about $10 to $12 per day, unless you get one of the jumbo ones at Magic Kingdom or Epcot, which costs you $15. Just keep in mind that unlike wheelchair or stroller rentals, locker purchases do not transfer between parks. So if you decide to park hop, you're gonna have to either purchase another locker when you get to park number 2, or you'll have to return to park number 1 before you wrap up your day to gather your belongings. But please, Disney, bring back hotel package delivery. Now, another big thing that we lost after the 2020 closures was the Garden View Tea Room that used to be available over in Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. Once upon a time, from noon to 4 p.m. daily, the Garden View Tea Room once served British-style afternoon tea packages, which gave you the chance to sit back in a peaceful Victorian setting, have a relaxing spot of tea, and eat some delightful tea time bites. I did this with my mom once, and it was just so elegant and lovely. Now, there was also a Perfectly Princess Tea Party, which was a morning tea led by Rose Petal, a magical rose from Princess Aurora's garden, who would come alive to join the tea party guests with stories and sing-alongs and a princess parade. Very fun all around, but alas, we haven't heard anything about this tea room since 2020. We don't know if it's ever coming back. We don't know if Disney's going to replace it. We don't know anything. So it's just been sitting there for the past 4 years being all sad and desolate. But here's the good news. Grand Floridian did reopen another restaurant early this year that we also hadn't heard about since 2020, 1900 Park Fair. So there is hope that we could see a reopening. 1900 Park Fair brought back its character dining buffet with a brand new twist. Now this table service features Wishmaker's Enchanted Dining, where guests and characters alike will get to celebrate the power of a wish. During your meal, you'll be able to meet characters like Aladdin, Cinderella, Mirabelle, and Tiana, and of course, make plenty of wishes and eat lots of strawberry soup. Meanwhile, over at Disney's Boardwalk Inn, we expect to see a different Tea Party-inspired restaurant open up hopefully soon-ish. The Cake Bake Shop will serve items for brunch and lunch and dinner featuring both sweet and savory menus all day long. An afternoon tea service will be offered here as well for those who are still seeking that clinking teacup experience inside the Disney bubble. While Disney has had to push back the opening date for this restaurant a few times already, we're still seeing progress being made on it, so hopefully we'll be able to tell you about an official opening date soon. Now, Disney World's restaurants are constantly hitting us with curveballs. Menus are updated, table services get reimagined, and new dining experiences open up to give us something new to look forward to on a pretty regular basis. But no matter how many times Disney decides to switch things up on us, I can guarantee you one thing: we'll be there to make sure it's covered and reviewed so you know what to expect before you go. Be sure to check out our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining and Snacks bundle for all the details you need to plan your snacking and spending before your trip. You can even download them straight to your smartphone, so it'll be like we're right there with you in the parks. And be sure to type in code YouTube before you check out so you can save some money on your total purchase, on top of what you're already saving from the bundle price. You can find all our guidebooks and t-shirts and everything else over at dfbstore.com. Now, this next one is near and dear to my heart, and I know it is for many of you as well. Bring back Be Our Guest quick service breakfast and lunch. I will not be silenced. I miss how Be Our Guest used to be back when it first opened in Magic Kingdom. I really, really do. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's backtrack just a little bit. When it first opened in 2012, Be Our Guest restaurant previously featured a quick service breakfast and lunch and a table service option for dinner. Breakfast and lunch were unique at Be Our Guest because it was the only quick service location that had advanced dining reservations since it was so popular. For lunch, you could even previously pre-order your meals using the My Disney Experience app. And for those who chose not to pre-order their lunch, touchscreen automated terminals were available to customize orders, and for special dietary requests and cash orders, cashiers were also available to help you out. Once your order was placed, you'd be given a red rose tracker, and your order would be delivered to you on real tableware, and all was right with the world. But when the restaurant reopened following the pandemic-related closure, the quick service option did not return. Not only did Be Our Guest restaurant breakfast get stripped away completely, which is okay because it wasn't really a good deal, but lunch and dinner are now both strictly table service options with very expensive prefix menus. So while yes, you do still get to choose your meal, each person is forced to order a lot of food with one appetizer, one entree, and one dessert, which no matter what you choose, it will always cost you $70 per person. I'm sorry, $70? When I used to be able to come here and order a braised pork plate for $10? That is wild. I mean, lunch here was such a good deal and it was so delicious. My heart just hurts talking about it. Now, don't get me wrong, Be Our Guest Restaurant is a must-do restaurant for many people, and it's clear to see why. It's hard to beat dining in such an immersive Beauty and the Beast themed environment where you truly feel transported into the tale as old as time. And just recently, toward the end of July, the Beast kind of showed up once in a while for a full-on meet and greet, although we're hearing that that's not necessarily going to continue, but fingers crossed. With all that being said, $70 per person is a lot to ask for here. But if you want Beauty and the Beast vibes minus the extremely steep price point, you might want to switch allegiance and venture from the Beast Castle over to Gaston's Tavern. Hey, what can I say? Gaston might be a scumbag, but he sure has a nice tavern with tasty midday Magic Kingdom snacks at a much cheaper price point while still keeping up with the whole Beauty and the Beast thing. At Gaston's, you can pick up desserts like the Grey Stuff Cupcake, the Creme Brulee Croissant, or our longtime favorite warm cinnamon roll. And there's also that new savory entree that we've quickly grown to love, the ham and Gruyere tart, which will only put you back around $10 instead of $70. Now, this is also where you can get that fan favorite beverage, LeFou's Brew, made with frozen apple juice, a hint of toasted marshmallow, and all natural passion fruit mango foam for about $7. But seriously, Disney, bring back quick service lunch at Be Our Guest Restaurant. It was so perfect. Now, if you're just learning that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is not open during early theme park entry and extended evening hours, then I'm sorry I had to break it to you this way. One of the big perks about staying in a Disney-owned hotel is the ability to access more time in the theme parks. When it comes to early theme park entry, all Disney hotel guests have the opportunity to enter any of the parks on any day, 30 minutes before everybody else. Meanwhile, extended evening hours are available for deluxe Disney hotel guests, allowing these guests to enter select parks on certain days up to 2 hours after the parks close for the general public. Either opportunity is a great way to access popular rides with shorter wait times, especially if you're not going to purchase any sort of lightning lanes to help you out during the day. But unfortunately, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, one of the most popular rides in Disney World right now, doesn't play that game, at least not per the release of this video. For early theme park entry, the only sections in Magic Kingdom that open 30 minutes before the park's official opening time are Tomorrowland and Fantasyland. So Frontierland, Liberty Square, and Adventureland are still going to be catching those extra Z's before it's go time. For extended evening hours, you'll have way more ride options to choose from across all the lands, but Tiana's does not stay open during that time. A cast member did mention that this could change later on in the future, but for now, if you want to ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure, you're going to have to secure a virtual queue for it either at 7 a.m. or 1 p.m. on the dot via MDE app, or you'll need to snag a multi-pass lightning lane for it before or during your trip. Now, if you're behind on all the multi-pass or single pass changes, no worries. We've created an entire free guide all about Disney World's latest lightning lane updates. I actually go reference it all the time when I'm checking on things when people email me questions. It's super, super useful and valuable. You can download it right now by scanning the QR code you see on the screen or by heading to disneyfoodblog.com/multipass after this. Again, totally free. Okay, this next one is a really, really easy one, Disney. It is super easy, very demure, very mindful. We just need more baked potatoes at quick service locations. Okay, so when Bria and I did our tasting adventure around Universal Orlando at the beginning of the year, we had a lot of different tasting opinions. I loved the strawberry hazelnut crepes from Central Park Crepes in Universal Studios Florida, and Bria thought it was too heavy on the mascarpone. Like, she was grossed out by it. I loved it. Now, Bria loved the Baja Mahi tacos from Lombard Seafood Grill. I wasn't a fan of the cilantro crema, but there were 3 things we could absolutely 100% agree on when we wrapped up our Universal Dining Marathon. 1, the Florian Fortescue ice cream in Diagon Alley is amazing. 2, the graham cracker pudding from Mythos tasted way too strongly of apple cider vinegar. And 3, the jacket potatoes sold near King's Cross Station hit the spot. Which begs the question, why did Disney World take away their baked potato offerings at Liberty Square Market and Sleepy Hollow refreshments in Magic Kingdom? I mean, think about it. They're nutritious, or at the very least, they're not fried. There's a lot of potassium in a potato. They're vegan, they're filling, and they're affordable. It's like the ultimate savory snack. And I miss being able to pick them up at Magic Kingdom dearly. So what can you order at these Liberty Square snack windows nowadays? Well, if you have to go, Sleepy Hollow is your one-stop shop for all things Mickey waffles. Once upon a time, we loved picking up the waffle sandwiches here, but now Sleepy Hollow solely provides both sweet and savory Mickey waffle options, as well as classic theme park staples like funnel cakes and hand-dipped corn dogs. Now, as far as Liberty Square Market is concerned, it's pretty basic. Mickey pretzels, hot dogs, giant pickles, sometimes you'll get a turkey leg here, but this is also one of the few places that you can get fresh fruit, so that's something. Now, Disneyland has baked potatoes. I don't know why we can't have baked potatoes in Disney World. Really easy fix, Disney. They're not expensive. Let's go. Okay, if I ever won the lottery, I'd never tell anyone, but there would be signs. Like more Muppets in Disney World, a whole lot more Muppets. Originally, Disney's Hollywood Studios was actually planning on having an entire Muppets land instead of just a Muppets courtyard. Back when Hollywood Studios was still in its MGM development days, Disney had come up with a whole Muppet studio concept, which would have included the Great Muppet Movie Ride that Muppets creator Jim Henson described as a backstage ride explaining how movies were shot, but all the information is wrong. Very classically Muppets. There was also going to be a Swedish chef cooking school and a pizza joint run by Gonzo. Former Disney CEO Michael Eisner wanted to outright own the Muppets brand and was deep in talks with Jim Henson to make that happen when MGM Studios opened. But things took a turn in 1990 when Jim Henson passed away. The first portion of the Muppet Studios had already been completed at this time but had not opened, and that was Muppet Vision 3D. Henson's children decided that they needed to hold on to their father's legacy and decided to stop all work with Disney on the proposed land, including selling the Muppets brand. Frank Oz, who voiced a number of the Muppet characters, alongside Henson, you might know him better as the voice of Yoda in Star Wars, spoke to the Henson family pleading with them to let their father's work on Muppet Vision 3D be shared with the world. The family finally agreed and only allowed Disney to open the Muppets courtyard area with that attraction. The rest of the plans were put to rest. But back in 2004, the tables turned yet again, and the Jim Henson Company eventually signed an agreement for Disney to buy the Muppets. So what has Disney done with the Muppets in the park since then? Well, a little bit here and there. Hollywood Studios' former Pizza Planet quick service was rethemed to Pizza Rizzo back in 2016. So instead of Gonzo owning a pizza joint, it's his good rat buddy Rizzo. The Muppets Present Great Moments in American History was an outdoor Streetmosphere performance that happened multiple times each day in Magic Kingdom's Liberty Square, starting way back in 2016, but retiring in 2019, much to our dismay. The Muppets Mobile Lab Streetmosphere show at Epcot ran occasionally for a few years, starring Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and his wide-eyed assistant Beaker, until it gave its final performance in 2019 as well. The dynamic duo also made another Epcot appearance during the 2023 Food and Wine Festival over at the Brew Wing booth in the Odyssey Pavilion. Regal Eagle Smokehouse in Epcot is run and operated by none other than Sam Eagle himself. It opened in 2020 over in Epcot's American Adventure Pavilion, replacing the former Liberty Inn. Kermit and Miss Piggy made their big holiday debut during Hollywood Studios' new after-hours party last year, Jollywood Nights, where they hosted the Holidays in Hollywood show over at the Theater of the Stars in Sunset Boulevard, and are planning on reclaiming their hosting position for this Jollywood Season 2. And of course, Muppet Vision 3D is still going strong after all this time in honor of Jim Henson. Hollywood Studios even gave his long-standing show a little upgrade at the end of last year with brand new pleather seating. And is there anything else we need to mention about Muppet Vision? No? It's still alive and well and will be forever and ever, amen, right? Right? Fine. There are some murmurings going on about the new Monsters Inc. land coming to Hollywood Studios in 2026, which I am excited for, mind you. It might replace the whole Muppet courtyard right off Grand Avenue based on what the concept art looks like, but nothing's been confirmed per the release of this video. There's also the possibility Monsters Inc. could go where Star Wars Launch Bay is now, which I'm crossing my fingers for, even though I do like how chill Launch Bay is when I'm in need of a break. But if it saves the Muppets, great, it gets the green flag. Or maybe Disney's just gonna pull more Hollywood studio space out of thin air that we didn't know they still had hiding out in the park. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see when Disney confirms the Monstropolis location once and for all. With all that being said, it is nice to see Muppet representation sprinkled here and there, but man, it'd sure be nice to see a whole lot more of it over the coming years, since those wacky dudes always know how to make me laugh. Now, here's something that might shock you to your core. The last time Disney opened a value hotel option on Disney World property was back in wait for it, 2012. Yep, that's right. It's been 12 years since our last Disney Value Hotel opened up. I remember it well. At the media event, I got placed in one of the Cars rooms, which was awesome, but I was pregnant and having very bad morning sickness, and being in an all-orange room, that just didn't do it for me. But still, great experience. Really glad I got the chance to go. But I think it's about time Disney gave us another affordable option instead of focusing all their energy on new deluxe hotel editions. Even though the deluxe editions are really cool too, they're just really expensive. And hopefully Disney's starting to realize that too. On August 7th, the Walt Disney Company released its latest earnings report, and as part of the latest earnings call, Disney revealed that demand for its domestic parks had been flat recently. When Disney executives spoke on the matter, they explained that lower-income consumers are feeling a bit of stress when it comes to spending money on the theme parks as of late. Shocker. Meanwhile, higher-income consumers seem to be traveling internationally more frequently. While Disney didn't seem to be overly stressed about this revelation, stating that the theme park business is in a fundamentally healthy place, it's just a bit softer than it was before, seems like it'd be a really smart idea on Disney's part to start offering more value opportunities to regain vacation interest in their parks. Like, I don't know, a value hotel maybe. The good news is that Disney does come out with special offers, deals, and discounts pretty regularly via the Disney World website to help future guests save a bit of money on their upcoming hotel stays. And the value hotels that Disney does have can house a lot of guests at once, especially Pop Century, which is the largest of the value hotels with over 2,880 rooms, giving guests who want to save money on a Disney hotel a good quantity to choose from. However, because Disney hasn't had a new value hotel in a good long while, they're not really helping the company stir up any additional interest when it comes to guests who want to take their families to the parks but also want to experience them in a whole new way without having to break the bank. Meanwhile, with the opening of Epic Universe on the horizon, Universal Orlando will be providing 2 new affordable hotel options opening at the beginning of next year: Universal Stella Nova Resort and Universal Terra Luna by Loews Hotels. Stella Nova is inspired by the cosmos. It's going to open before Epic Universe on January 21st, 2025. Terra Luna is inspired by terrestrial exploration and is set to open a month later, February 28th, 2025. Prices for these hotels start around $147 per night, which is about what you'll spend for a standard room at Disney's All-Star Sports Hotel, which opened back in 1994. So we love the Disney Skyliner. We love it so much we could just ride back and forth on those little sky gondolas all day long and have a grand old time. But it'd be so stinking cool if either A, we could extend the Skyliner to reach other parts of Disney World, or B, we could have a whole other Skyliner system built that's similar to the one that already exists. Like around poor Animal Kingdom, for instance, which only has one mode of complimentary Disney transportation at the moment, those Disney buses. And considering the fact that Animal Kingdom's going to get a whole lot busier in the future with the whole Tropical Americas expansion that's going to retheme all of Dinoland USA, having more ways for guests to reach this park would be extremely useful. This would be especially beneficial for guests staying at one of the Disney hotels in the Animal Kingdom area, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Coronado Springs, or any of the All-Star resorts. So where can the current Disney Skyliner system take you? Well, we got multiple stations. The central station is Caribbean Beach Resort, so we'll make that our jump-off point. From Caribbean Beach, your Skyliner ride can take you one of 3 ways. You can travel to Art of Animation and Pop Century's shared Skyliner station, you can travel the rest of the way to Hollywood Studios, or you can head toward the Riviera Resort. And if you don't get off your gondola when you reach the Riviera, it'll carry you the rest of the way to Epcot's International Gateway, the backside of the park. So I've dipped into a lot of Disney history today. Maybe it's because I'm feeling nostalgic, who knows? But what I do know is that an evening at Animal Kingdom would be 10 times better if we got to cap things off with a nighttime spectacular like we used to be able to do back in the good old days. Animal Kingdom often closes before dark, as in it can close as early as 6 p.m. on some nights. But it's also been known to stay open later or into the evenings too, like when it used to have its Rivers of Light show across the Discovery River Lagoon. For the record, when I mentioned that it'd be nice for Animal Kingdom to have a big end of the night show, I know it's never going to mean fireworks, because big explosions plus hundreds of animals would be disaster. But Rivers of Light was able to put on a nighttime performance without all the big booms up in the sky, and instead featured lasers and light projections and fountains and these beautiful illuminated floats that looked a lot like giant paper lanterns shaped into different flowers and animals. And the show was suspended when the park closures happened in 2020. And later that summer, Disney announced it would not return. During the 50th anniversary celebration that started up in 2021, the same space was instead used for the daytime show Kite Tales, RIP, we loved it. But now, the lagoon and amphitheater are just sitting there. Like, it's still pretty, but it's also a pretty melancholy sight when you know what used to be there. Like a giant light-up lotus flower and kites shaped like Baloo that crash into the bleachers at the end of every performance. While a new show could always pop up on this lagoon again in the future, there are some nighttime sights that you'll want to stick around for at the end of your Animal Kingdom day if you're visiting the park when it closes after sundown. First up, in the winter, the Tree of Life Awakenings returns. When those days start to get shorter again, every 10 minutes leading up to park closing, the colorful projections around the Tree of Life will put on a performance featuring lots of bright colors and animated animals and a beautiful swelling soundtrack. Not to mention, the Pandora section of the park also takes on a whole new personality after the sun sets, because all those forest/mossy greens that you see during the day transform into a bioluminescent glow at night. And let's not forget, Animal Kingdom is bringing back their extended evening hours again for deluxe hotel guests, starting Friday, October 11th this year from 6 to 8 p.m. All right, so not everyone wants to purchase cocktails at Disney World. Maybe it's because of health reasons. Maybe it's because they're not of drinking age. Maybe it's because they'd rather not spend $14 on a single drink, or maybe they straight up don't like the taste of alcohol. Whatever the reason, this is why having mocktails as an option around the parks and resorts is a nice change. That way you can still have a fun and tasty, unique beverage for half the price. But here's the problem. So many of these mocktails are made with lemonade. Now, maybe that's not a problem for you. Maybe it's a me thing and you're perfectly fine with seeing lemonade-based mocktails over and over and over again across so many of Disney's menus. And don't get me wrong, I love lemonade as much as the next guy. And I know it's super cheap to use lemonade because it's a Coke product and they get it for free. But it'd sure be nice to have another type of mocktail option with a different base flavor more often than we do. And while I wish Disney had so many more non-lemonade based mocktails, if you're like me and you're looking for a little variety, here are some of the options we've found so far that have become quick favorites of ours. Over at Skipper Canteen in Magic Kingdom, you can order an Enchanted Orange Dream, which tastes a lot like a dreamsicle. This frozen concoction is made with Dole Whip orange, blended with vanilla soft serve, and served with an orange candy rim for $9.50. At Kringla Bakery Cafe in Epcot, you can get the Frozen Viking Coffee. This is a non-alcoholic form. You can get the Frozen Viking Coffee in non-alcoholic form when you order the Kristoff Cafe. This is made with frozen coffee, coffee chocolate sauce, and coffee chocolate crunch garnish, all for a little over $6. Oga's Cantina and Hollywood Studios might feel like it focuses more heavily on intergalactic cocktails, and there's a lot of family-friendly mocktails featured on the menu too, like the Hyperdrive Punch It, for instance, made with Powerade Mountain Berry Blast, white cranberry juice, black cherry puree, and Sprite for $7. Still has a lemon lime soda, but that's technically not lemonade, so I'll give it a free pass for now. And when I go to Animal Kingdom, we love to hit up the Royal Anandapur Tea Company in the Asia section of the park. This is a Joffrey's kiosk with a variety of tea options like frozen chai, Moroccan mint, the blackberry jasmine. Several of the cocktails also featured at Nomad Lounge can also be made into mocktails, by the way, since they're made in-house and not pre-mixed. Sorry, you knew I had to mention Nomad Lounge at least once today. Oh, and you're also going to find a lot of cocktail and mocktail options around Disney Springs. The little Yasake kiosk, not too far from the Orange Parking Garage, is one of the few places where you can find boba milk tea on property. And I'm not talking about those fruity bursting bobas. I'm talking about the black tapioca pearls that kind of feel like you're chewing on an eyeball, all Shrek-like. Boba tea at Yasake comes in a variety of flavors like Hokkaido black milk, strawberry milk, taro milk, each for $8. So even without our prompting, Disney World likes to make its own changes pretty regularly, and they've announced a lot of changes that'll be underway in the near and distant future. So who knows, maybe some of our wish list will come true. Maybe it won't, but either way, we'll keep you updated with all the latest Disney news that we hear about. Now, before you head out, don't forget to pick up our free multi-pass guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/multipass so you can learn all about the most recent Lightning Lane updates before your visit. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.